Somewhere between a sold-out stadium and a boardroom that controls more luxury brands than you can name, two of the most powerful families on Earth may have quietly become one. On one side, Lisa, the only non-Korean member of Blackpink, the best-selling girl group in history, a woman with over 100 million people watching her every move. On the other side, Frederic Arnault, son of Bernard Arnault, the richest man in the fashion world, the man behind Louis Vuitton, Dior, Bulgari, Tiffany, and roughly 50 other brands you've definitely worn, sprayed, or saved up for. For almost 4 years, fans have been collecting evidence. A photo here, a wallpaper there, a lyric that maybe wasn't a coincidence. And in the last few months, the clues stopped looking like a crush and started looking like something else entirely. So tonight, we're not gossiping, we're investigating. Grab your magnifying glass, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why millions of fans think Lisa might already be off the market, permanently. Chapter 1. The Breadcrumbs. Let's rewind to where it all started, because this isn't a rumor that popped up overnight. It's a slow burn that's been simmering since 2022. November 2022. Blackpink plays a sold-out show in Los Angeles. Backstage, a photo surfaces of the group with a tall, sharply dressed Frenchman. He posted himself, thanking the group for an amazing evening and saying he'll see them soon in Paris. That Frenchman is Frederic Arnault, at the time the CEO of Tag Heuer and the son of the most powerful man in fashion. Nobody thought much of it. Brand executives meet celebrities all the time. But then it kept happening. He's spotted at Bulgari's high jewelry event in Venice, where Lisa, the face of Bulgari since 2020, just happens to be working. A few months later, reports place the two of them dining together in Paris, with Lisa reportedly resting her head on his shoulder. By 2024, the sightings multiply. He's photographed walking a Miami beach with his own sister-in-law, and Lisa is right there with them. He's seen at the Tag Heuer launch she attends. He's photographed greeting his parents alongside her. For a rumor, it was getting an awful lot of confirmation by proximity. But the breadcrumbs were about to turn into a full trail. Because 2025 is when things stopped looking accidental. Chapter 2. Who is Frederic Arnault? Meet the Empire. First, though, let's talk about exactly who Lisa is rumored to be tangled up with, because Rich Boyfriend really doesn't cover it. Frederic Arnault was born in 1995, the fourth of 5 children belonging to Bernard Arnault, the chairman and CEO of LVMH, the largest luxury conglomerate on Earth. We're talking somewhere around 75 brands under one roof. Louis Vuitton, Dior, Tiffany & Company, Bulgari, Moet, Hennessy, Sephora. Practically every name you'd find on a wish list, owned by one family. And in true dynasty fashion, every Arnault sibling has been handed a piece of the empire to run. Frederic is no exception. He started inside LVMH's digital division before being named CEO of Tag Heuer in 2020, at just 25 years old. From there, he was promoted to oversee the group's entire watches and jewelry division, before stepping into his current role as CEO of Loro Piana, the famously discreet, famously expensive Italian house, favored by people who'd rather you not know how much they spent. Translation: this isn't a guy who married into money. He's being groomed to help steer one of the largest fortunes in modern history. A family whose combined wealth regularly ranks among the highest in the world, even as it rises and falls with the stock market. Which is exactly why fans haven't been able to let this rumor go. Because if it's true, this isn't just a celebrity romance. It's the merger of two empires. One built on music and global fame, the other built on 3 centuries of European luxury. So now that you know exactly who's allegedly in this relationship, let's get back to the evidence. Chapter 3. The year they stopped hiding. If 2022 to 2024 was the setup, 2025 was the year fans say the mask started slipping. April 2025, Coachella. Fan shot footage shows Lisa filming her bandmate Jennie, and when fans zoomed in on her phone, the lock screen appeared to show a photo of Frederic. A small detail, but the internet does not forgive small details. The very next month, May 2025, paparazzi catch the two of them on a seaside outing in Sicily. No sunglasses, no masks, just walking together in the open. The photos spread across every fan account within hours. Then, in July, Frederic, by now the CEO of Loro Piana, makes a curious business trip to Korea. The official reason? Meetings with the heads of the country's biggest department stores. The timing? It lines up exactly with the kickoff of Blackpink's world tour. Fans noted the coincidence immediately. Around the same window, reports described the two of them being spotted together at an airport lounge, at family dinners, and repeatedly wearing what fans clocked as coordinated, matching outfits. The kind of styling choice that's either a wild fashion coincidence or two people who got dressed in the same room. But just when fans thought they'd mapped the whole picture, a song lyric would change the conversation entirely. Chapter 4. The lyric nobody could ignore. In February 2025, Lisa dropped her solo album, Alter Ego. Buried in one of its tracks is a verse fans immediately flagged. A few lines describing a French love interest, green-eyed, with an accent she can't seem to get out of her head. It's subtle, it's romantic, and to a fandom already 3 years deep into Arnault theories, it read less like a coincidence and more like a confession set to a beat. When Billboard actually asked Lisa point blank about who inspired that track, she didn't deny it. She just laughed it off, saying she didn't write that line herself, which to detectives in the comment section sounded less like a denial and more like a dodge. And just when fans thought the song was as close to confirmation as they'd ever get, a Hollywood legend walked straight into the story. Chapter 5. The Michelle Yeoh Moment. July 2025. Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh attends a black tie dinner in Paris honoring an Italian businessman. Nothing to do with Kpop, nothing to do with Lisa. Except, in the photo carousel she posts afterward, there's a casual snapshot with Frederic Arnault. And the caption doesn't just say congratulations to the honoree, it says she hopes to meet Lisa soon. Think about that for a second. An Academy Award-winning actress attending an event with zero connection to Blackpink name-drops Lisa, directly underneath a photo of her rumored boyfriend. To fans, this wasn't a stray comment. This was someone deep inside that social circle accidentally, or not so accidentally, confirming what everyone already suspected. It was, as one fan put it online, the moment Michelle Yeoh clocked the entire fandom. Chapter 6. The Viral Clip and the Ring. Then came February 2026 and the clip that broke containment. A TikTok video surfaces allegedly showing Lisa arriving at a private residence with Frederic. Within a day, it racks up millions of views. But it's not the location that sends the fandom into overdrive, it's her hand. In the footage and in the public sightings that followed, Lisa is seen wearing a ring on her ring finger. Not a stack of fashion rings, just one. In exactly the spot that sends an entire fandom into a spiral. To be clear, nothing here has been confirmed. Not by Lisa, not by YG Entertainment, not by Frederic. But by this point, the theory had a name fans had been quietly floating for months. That Lisa hadn't just found a boyfriend. She'd found a fiancé, maybe even a husband. Because this wasn't even the first time the word married had been attached to their names. Chapter 7. The Marriage Whispers. Back in June 2025, an anonymous Hollywood blind item site posted a cryptic line about a member of a two-color group secretly getting married. Within hours, fans had connected the dots straight to Blackpink's pink and black branding, and straight to Lisa. Then, in December 2025, a Chinese outlet reported that Lisa had quietly registered a marriage to Frederic in France, allegedly planning to step back from her schedule afterward. The report claimed the two had reunited in Paris over the holidays and were spotted walking the streets together. None of this has ever been verified. Blind items are not journalism, and overseas tabloid reports are not confirmation. But the sheer volume of these rumors, repeating independently across different countries and different sources, is exactly why this story refuses to die. But the marriage whispers weren't the only thing fans were quietly tracking. Because if this relationship really was as serious as it looked, it wasn't just affecting Lisa, it was rippling through her own group. Chapter 8. The bandmates are watching too. Here's a detail that's easy to miss if you're not deep in the fandom, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. April 2025, the second weekend of Coachella. Lisa tears through her solo set to one of the loudest crowds of the festival. In the audience, watching, her own bandmate, Jennie. At first, it reads as a sweet show of group solidarity, bandmate supporting bandmate. But then a short clip starts circulating online. As Jennie leaves the area afterward, she walks right past Frederic, standing just a few feet away. No glance exchanged, no greeting, nothing. To a casual viewer, that's nothing. People don't owe every acquaintance a hello, especially in a packed festival crowd. But to a fandom that has spent years parsing every interaction between Blackpink's 4 members, the moment reignited an old theory that the group's dynamic isn't quite as seamless behind the scenes as the brand wants you to believe, and that Lisa's rumored relationship might be a quiet source of tension among the group. To be fair, there's no confirmation of any rift, and skipping a hello in a crowded venue is hardly damning evidence on its own. But in a fandom this size, even an unreturned glance becomes a clue. And it's a reminder that if this relationship really is as serious as everything else suggests, Lisa isn't the only one it affects. Her bandmates, her label, and her entire public image are wrapped up in it too. Which makes what happened next even harder to explain. Chapter 9. The twist nobody saw coming. But just when the fandom had fully accepted the engagement theory, everything flipped. In the weeks before this video, a photo surfaced online of Frederic with another woman, later identified by fans as a German model and longtime friend of his sister Delphine. He'd reportedly liked several of her posts. Breakup panic spread through the fandom within hours. Hashtags trended, theories reversed overnight. And then, nothing. No statement from Lisa, no statement from Frederic, no denial of the engagement rumors, no confirmation of a breakup. Just silence. The same silence that's defined this entire relationship since 2022. And here's the theory that's kept this story alive for 4 years. In the K-pop industry, silence is never accidental. Idols deny dating rumors constantly. Agencies issue statements within hours when something is false. The fact that neither Lisa nor YG Entertainment has ever shut this down, not once, in 4 years of escalating rumors, is itself the loudest piece of evidence fans have. Maybe it's a couple protecting their privacy. Maybe it's a billion-dollar brand managing its image. Or maybe, just maybe, the silence is the answer. So here's where it stands. A ring fans can't explain. A lyric that lines up too perfectly. A Hollywood legend who seemingly let it slip. And 4 years of silence that's louder than any confirmation could ever be. Is Lisa secretly engaged to the heir of the world's biggest luxury empire? Or is this just the most elaborate game of almost confirmed in K-pop history? You tell me. Drop your theory in the comments, and if you've spotted a clue we missed, this is far from over.